Well, well, well. I am back. I should turn this music down a little bit because it's really loud. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. My voice is deep because, I don't know, it was a very long weekend. So I'm going to be talking like this probably the rest of the show. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. We had by the way, lovely wedding. Not even just a lovely wedding. It was an amazing wedding. Is my mic working? Yes, it is. Okay. My son and my beautiful now daughter-in-law, Grace. It was a wonderful time. Friday night, we had a great time with both our families hanging out and a party that my wife and I hosted, and then probably the greatest wedding in history that a guy could have ever imagined. And it was weird because there was concerns about weather because it was the wedding itself was outdoors, but the sky parted. We had sunlight all during the wedding part, and then as everyone went inside and there was a cocktail hour before the actual dinner, and that's when the rain came down. And then when that was over and dinner was over, the skies cleared up again so people could go outside, go inside the reception. It was an amazing thing. But it's not what I'm here to talk about today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to catch up on, things that I missed, not even missed, but I didn't pay the most attention to the news and stuff while I was gone. Although you saw that I did put out a bunch of little short videos here and there. But, there's a lot of things I missed. I missed the submarine. I missed the Russian thing, whatever the hell that was. I've missed all sorts of things. I missed half of Pride Month. I missed Strong Dad in June. I've been gone 2 whole weeks. I've never done that since I started this show. So we'll get caught up in as much as we can, just little snippets of things. And then during the week, we'll probably get just more, get caught up in the video and do some other stuff. And we'll get right back into the swing. But, of course, before we do that, we must play the intro. Johnny, would you do me the favor and play the intro? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
That's right. Yeah, it's me. And here's my face. Now, let me just clarify something because I don't know what I actually said. Did I say shout it to the rooftops? Oh, yeah, it should be shout from the rooftops. Well, shout it to the rooftops, shout it from the rooftops. Just shout it out. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel. Hey, any newbies here? Because I've gotten about 300 new subscribers over the last couple weeks. It's funny because I do all these little shorts and a bunch of people start subscribing again. That's a good thing, I guess. But I am happy to see you guys. And figuratively, right? Because I can't see you necessarily, but you can see me. I'm just glad to be back. It's been a long time. But I got to tell you, it was a necessary hiatus for me. We had so much to get ready for. Had a bunch of relatives in, obviously our relatives, our daughter-in-law's relatives, and it was the wedding itself was just amazing. And I got to thank some people because I know I haven't done this yet, but first there was some people while I was gone. Jabari dropped a super chat while I was it was the last day I did the show, and I didn't get the chance to thank him before the end of the show. So he said it was saying tinfoil Koofy take. Could the DOJ be setting up for DeSantis to win by smearing Trump and Biden with the change before the election? I don't think the DOJ has any interest in having any Republican be the president of the United States. The entrenched ones there are not interested in having your Republicans do anything. Because here's the thing. When you're in and I've been thinking about this for years, but one of the reasons that most of the bureaucratic departments in government overwhelmingly support Democrats is because Democrats will overwhelmingly continue to fund them. I just got a text from somebody here. Is that my daughter? Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay, that was my son. He's on his way. They're on their way to Tahiti. They're honeymooning in Bali. And it's just been a nightmare, that whole trip. They've been they almost got booted from their flight, and not like for anything nefarious. And then the flight changed, and then they're supposed to do a connecting flight, and this today to get to Tahiti, to get to a puddle jumper to Bora Bora, and everything that could go wrong has. And so finally, now they're not going to get to Tahiti till Tuesday, which I don't know how that works when you're going west. I think you're already messing up the international timeline. But anyway, they'll make it. Anyway, what was I talking about? How great the wedding was. That was great. I'm sorry, getting caught up on some of these things. I don't think the DOJ, government agencies, have no interest in having Republicans win anything, because the Democrats are always the one who feed them more and more and more. And while the Republicans do the same, at least they try to lessen the blow of increase of their budgets. So, but that, anyone who's entrenched government is certainly going to be a Democrat, because those government employee unions. Yeah, we love them. Anyway, so thank you, Jabari, again. Also, Gunfox61 dropped a link while I was gone. That was 12 days ago, but we're still going to do that one today because it's always relevant and it's always mind-exploding stuff. So we will get to that shortly. Thank you for dropping the Hamilton in the tip jar while I was gone. Also this morning, Ty Alexander, thank you very much for the welcome back. Says, well. Look at what the cat drug in. Who do you think you are? You leave for 2 weeks and then you expect to come back like nothing happened. Well, it's too late. I have another morning show now. It's over between us. I have moved on. Goodbye, P. LOL. Tyre, if you got a new morning show, and it's good, I won't be jealous as long as you watch the replays of this one. But if I see that you're in the chat, so I'm thinking that might be just a little facetious. But so I appreciate you being here. And then finally, Jimmy Das Hotel. Oh, all these guys. I didn't even do the. Well, now that made Tyre Alexander the superstar.
You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of the day.
Temporarily, of course. Temporarily, because now the superstar sponsor of the day is Jimmy Das Hotep. Dropping a Hamilton.
You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor of
Thank you,
the
Jimmy
day.
Das Hotep, for dropping a Hamilton tip jar. Says, welcome back and congrats on the growing family. Yeah, we're excited. Oh, I just realized I can tell you the other part of that, because you said welcome back and congrats on the growing family, which, yes, we have a new daughter-in-law. And the first time I can say this out loud, my daughter is also pregnant. So they're going to have their second child, and we're excited for that too. So yeah, we're maxing it out this weekend. This is a great weekend. So now we found that out 2 weeks ago, but we weren't supposed to tell our son because we didn't want that announcement competing at any way with their wedding. But then my son went and when he came into town last Tuesday, he went and took my daughter out for lunch and noticed that, oh, you might be pregnant, because she has the little baby bump starting. So we're excited. We have a lot of stuff going on. So wait, human tits are okay. I looked at the chat. Human tits are counted. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. What are you talking about in there? That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. So, good news, human. Bad news. It's the triangular ones where the nip, point straight to hell. Okay, what? I'm not sure where we're going here. Let's say good morning to everybody, and then we'll get into some news and get into. Well, we're going to do Gunfox's article first. Gunfox, are you here? Not really. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, so first in the chat over on Rumble would be Mr. Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Whoops, that fell up. What the hell is that? It's just supposed to be a bell. There you go. There's your bell. Okay, and then also on Rumble, Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. And Sully 209. What's happening? And Jimmy Das Hotep drops another 5 spot in the tip jar. Thank you very much. Who says, Grandpa Marty for the win. Congrats again. Those kids are having an awesome grandpa, or have an awesome grandpa. Well, I like to think so. By the way, so part of the reason I had to take some time off is I had to write a speech for my son's wedding. The father, the bride, the father, the groom, and then the best man and the maids. She had 2 maids of honor. Gave speeches, and so I had to write a speech. And man, I had to, there's always a lot of pressure on that kind of stuff. But I thought I'd make it fun, and I'm not gonna go through the speech, but I'm gonna let you know that I found a way to incorporate some things into the speech, and then I'm just gonna let you use your own imagination. One, a Bible verse. Okay, that's not unusual in a speech, and I'm going to tell you which one it was. It was Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, I think, whatever. Love is, what is it? Love is faithful, love is kind. That one, That's one of the more famous wedding Bible verses. I was also able to incorporate one of the greatest American philosophers of our time, Chris Rock. I was also incorporated famous musicians, the Beatles, Fleetwood Mac, Jefferson Airplane, Tina Turner, and one of the great lessons that I created was also from a great musicians or whatever. I don't know if they're great or not, but they're very well known, and that would be the rock band Kiss. And so I'll just let you figure it out. I'll let you figure it out, and one of these days, when they send the video, I might even play that speech on the show. But apparently it turned out okay, because everyone said it was a good speech, and I was like, okay, cool. Because I thought it would go over a lot of people's heads, because not everyone knows everything about music. But I did pretty good. So anyway, I'm proud of myself. All right, over on YouTube, let's say hi to everybody. First in the chat is our friend Tex AG 007, who is first and gets the bell. Good morning, also Avocados Diabli, Attack Alpaca, Unacceptable Views, GDSOB, Simon Wolfwood, what's up? Good morning, Tyrannus. Wait a minute. Tyrannus, Alexandrius. Oh wait, Invictus Leech. Wow, that's really loud. Is my mic up, or is that just super loud? That was really loud. What is going on there? Okay, we'll see if that, I can't tell. Anyway, also good morning to Lord Stanhope, Trippy Liberties in the house. How you doing, Aaron Meredith? Let's see, Rockhopper, what's up, Rockhopper? Good to see you. Attack Alpaca's here. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
That little delay there. Also, good morning to Annalyn. What's up? Good morning. And Rick Ashbringer. What's up? Nice to have everyone back. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, hit the share, do all that stuff we do that keeps people coming. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, because, like I said, I've been gone for quite a while. Now first, before I go into Gunfox's, the article Gunfox sent me that I appreciate. Hello, Chicago Mike, what's up? Before I get into the article Gunfox sent to me, I put a hashtag on Oh, did I not do that? There we go. Jimmy Das Hotep's the Streamline Superstar sponsor. I put a hashtag on the show today, and it was Trust the Science, because I've been following this thing with this Titan submarine ever so loosely, because they've been trying to find that shit for a couple weeks now. Even though now we know the truth, that they knew about it, where they had found it a week earlier, but maybe they weren't confirming it or whatever. So the suspense and the drama continued, right? But it got me to thinking. Between that and Fauci was in the news last week, and they're still talking about the lab in Wuhan, and I kept hearing this. We keep hearing this phrase, "Trust the science." Science deniers trust the science, right? And it's with everything. With if you have questions about climate change, you're like, yeah, well, the climate's always trying. Well, you're a science denier. You don't trust the science. Well, the thing with the jabs. Oh, you're a science denier. You need to trust the science, right? And so I've been thinking about this phrase, "Trust the science." And it is really, 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 really a stupid phrase. And so I'm in the process of writing a series called Trust the Science. Or I don't know if it's a series. It's definitely going to be a series of tweets. But Justin Wright, how you doing? Delivering John Deere in the Minneapolis St. Paul area. Oh, cool. That's cool. Nice. That's neat. Well, John Deere what though? Although in Egan, there is a place. Is it Egan? Let me think about that. Is it Egan? Yeah, in Egan, there's a big John Deere like offices here. Anyway, let me go back to trusting the science. When they just say you should trust the science, whatever, does that mean that you should never question the science? Because science is not static, right? Science is something that is continual. And so when they say trust the science as though science is the answer, well, if you think about it, if there were never science deniers, there'd never be any discovery. There'd never be any improvements to science, right? Think about it. Because the only way to improve science is to constantly challenge it. It's not a conclusion. It's a continuous process. And so I was thinking about, okay, let's think about some things. When you say trust the science, well, let's think of some examples of trust the science. Okay, let's start with, Joseph Mengele. Trust the science. You know Joseph Mengele, right? Is right the crazy guy who followed the guy with the funny mustache back in the 40s, right? Trust the science. Yeah, there you go, John Mengele. That's a good one. How about John Mooney? Do you know who John Mooney? John Mooney is the guy who experimented with the twin boys, and they had a circumcision accident. And so he thought he would test the idea of raising the boys a girl. He was going through kind of a blank slate theory guy. And so he thought, well, he turned this boy into a girl, and they raised the boy as a girl. And later on in life, you saw the kid who was just messed up and never realized, felt like he was, what they raised him as. And then they told him the truth, and eventually both he and his brother ended themselves. John Mooney, trust the science. How about a little lighter, a lighter one? How about who remembers Tony Little? Tony Little is the little exercise guru guy who had all these little funky, weird exercise machines. And he had the one that you like to stand in, and you're suspended in air and you're flapping your legs and arms back and forth. Tony Little, trust the science of exercise, right? Here's one. How about the Barber of Seville, the world's leading expert on bloodletting? Yes, trust the science. Here's one. Franz Joseph Gall. Do you know? Here's one. Who here knows who John Franz Joseph Gall was. Anybody? Okay. Franz Joseph Gall was the inventor of phrenology. For years, they thought this science was just something that was something amazing, right? It was an amazing thing. Here's one. Trust the science? The Tuskegee Institute. There's a reason why a lot of black people don't trust the science. The Tuskegee experiments, the famous where they were allowing people in the Tuskegee Institute to have untreated syphilis. Yeah, that was great. And then, of course, trust the science. The Wuhan lab. The Wuhan lab. Yes, there's some science that we should just trust the science. In fact, Rachel Maddow is a strong proponent of trusting the science, especially when it came to the original jabs, which she said would stop the virus in its tracks. It will never go anywhere else. If you get the jab, you are saving yourself and you're saving everyone around you. Yes, Rachel Maddow, trust the science. And then finally, I had a couple that were Walter Jackson Freeman. He was a strong proponent of ice pick lobotomies, which people believe those helped for a while, but no. He's the guy, he'd take ice picks and shove them in people's eyes. It was really weird. So anyway, when someone tells you trust the science, there's a lot of examples of not trusting the science. In fact, one of the most famous science deniers in history was Copernicus. Another one, Galileo, was a science denier. And yet, the things they believed turned out to be pretty good, I thought, So, again, without science deniers, there would never be any discovery. There would never be any improvement. What about Lysenko and Mengele? Yeah, Mengele was on my list. Janet Yellen, same messed up science. Yeah. So anyway, if you think of any others, send them to me, because I'm going to use those types of things. Shiro Ishii. Who is Shiro Ishii? I'm going to figure that out. Let's look that up real quick. Shiro Ishii. What is Shiro Ishii? Japanese Army medical officer and microbiologist. Oh, yeesh. Biological warfare unit of the Imperial Japanese Army. Yes, trust the science. I'm going to put that in my list here. Shiro Ishii. Here, I'll just drop it in here right under, we'll drop it right under Mengele. There we go. Oops. Paste. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I'll just type it in. Thank you, Avocados Terribly. So anyway, if you think of any more of those, you can either send them to me by email at pdognight@gmail.com. You can send them to me DMs on Twitter if you happen to be on Twitter. But I'm coming up with a list of trust the science nightmares, and I am also starting to research some with some of the famous scientific theories that were later debunked. Obviously flat Earth and shit like that, but there's a bunch of them. But it's funny because on all these top 10 lists I've looked on, ice pick lobotomies are on all of them, or pretty much all of them. And if you're not familiar with the ice pick lobotomy, that one's crazy. And that's what I compare to when you talking about transitioning kids either medically or through chemical, transit kids through puberty blockers and the hormonal treatments for children. That is the ice pick lobotomy of our time. They're experimenting on kids right now, and it's got to stop. Unfortunately, it's stopping in several countries. I guess Sweden now also is ending them. France is also ending it. Several states in the United States are ending it, but some of the states are doubling down and making it, allowing kids as young as 13 to do that on their own without their parents' without any parental guidance, supervision, permission, or approval. And that's insane. Yeah, I know a lot of 13-year-olds who can think about what the rest of their life's going to be like, and they can make a decision that means they're going to be medicalized for the rest of their life. Good morning, Tyler F. How you doing? Good morning. Why are you so angry? Good morning, Shrapnel. Nice to have you back. And I am happy to be back. So, all right, I got a lot to catch up on, though, today. So let's get into some of the news. Let me make sure I can show you what I'm putting out here by. There you go. I fixed that. All right, let's start with the article that Gunfox sent me, just because he paid me to read it, and I feel neglective since I've been gone for 2 weeks. So let's go with that. By the way, if you haven't done so already, if you please, the show is sponsored by you. Share the stream, hit the like button during the show, drop a deuce or two in the tip jar. Although even though it's not $2 Tuesday, I ask everyone to drop a deuce in the tip jar. I'm going to be, just a reminder, I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to be gone from here, but I'm going to be incapacitated for a few weeks or more, maybe more, because I'm going to have a surgery in August when we return from our 30-year anniversary trip. So we'll do that. Hey, look who's back. Were you a naughty boy, P-Doc? No, check the pinned tweet or pinned comment. I say pinned tweet. The pinned comment tells you where I was. I was gone 2 weeks just because we were getting ready for my son's wedding, and it was amazing time. All right, let's get into this. Gunfox sent me this one, and prepare for head explosions everywhere. Apparently, a kindergarten teacher is under fire for filming explicit videos during class. This is why I bring coffee. According to many furious parents, Laura Lane, popularly known as Your Sweet Little Teacher on TikTok, is doing the unthinkable during school times. Most of her videos are of her stripping half naked and recording explicit content as children walk in for their lesson, and then she stops. One user wrote, "What if she doesn't see those kids in time? God knows what our kids have been exposed to." However, despite her seeing millions of complaints, she hasn't stopped. Now what? What? She hasn't stopped. What are you talking about? Luring people to her OnlyFans accounts through TikTok is her top priority. Unfortunately, despite TikTok banning her account. TikTok banned her. Oh, that's good. Despite TikTok banning her accounts, her videos haven't stopped flooding For You page, as she has numerous accounts under different names. One user commented, "She's really on a mission. I'm a preschool teacher and I cannot imagine doing this in my classroom. She should be fired." Well, why hasn't she been fired? That's what I'm not. How'd they find out about this and she hasn't been fired? Good morning, DCC. What up, Blink? Blink 182's here. She should be fired. These are indeed end times, and I pray our children are safe. Many things are happening in these schools while we sit at home thinking they are learning. God intervene. However, as usual, there's always two sides to every coin. Some people are in support of her. Where is it? Let her be. She does her job. By the end of the day, teachers ain't earning much and she needs some extra cash like we all do. If you're not happy about it, take your kids out. You are not forced. Personally, I wouldn't miss a day if I had her as my teacher. Yes, though, the horn dogs. The horn dogs are out. Want to be, it's funny because someone was, some of the other week I posted a little short clip of all these, teachers have been caught having sex with their kids or their students, right? And whoever made the original video made it to the music Hot for Teacher by Van Halen, if you're not familiar with that. And I switched it to some clown, like circus music. And but so many people there are a lot of people in the comments, not a lot, there's a few in the comments who are all like, oh, geez, if I was, I wish I'd had her for a teacher, man. I'd have just this, that, and another. You're thinking from your brain, adult brain, no kids having perspective, if that's the first thing you think of. It's like, look, idiots, no, you do not want your teacher having sex with even if it's your teenage child. No, you do not. Okay? First of all, I guarantee that your teenager cannot afford child support. And there have been cases where teachers have gotten pregnant by a student that they had sex with, and they got fired from being a teacher. But still, even when they got out of jail or whatever it was, they had a baby, and then they went and sued the teenager for child support. Which it's like you're suing your rapist, or you're being sued by your rapist, which is not a word I'm sorry, excuse me, therapist. You're being sued by the therapist for child support, and you're probably just a teen anyway. Yeah, and some judges have actually awarded child support to those teachers. Is $55K a year really not that much? That's the other thing. Teachers are underpaid. Well, maybe they are in some districts. I don't know where those districts are. Remember, you're talking about people who work, in theory, they work not 9 months a year. Now, most usually have a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after prep or whatever, and they do take higher level classes sometimes or whatever. But for the most part, teachers work 3/4 of the year, right? And 55,000 a year is not that much. I mean, teachers in our school district here, I think the higher end teachers are making almost $100K. They're, in the 90s. Their average salary in our school district is like I think 70. It's a suburban school district. It has a lot of money, but it's what's interesting about our school district in the county we're in. We don't get, it's one of the lowest per pupil school districts in the state as far as spending, but most of what they spend money on is the teachers, which is interesting and also they get great results, which for example, the school district my kids were in, their per pupil spending was half of what the Minneapolis school district spends per pupil. Now, you would think, well, they don't have as many resources, or they don't have any of this and that. They don't have to have everything here. Well, no, they do. And so it makes you wonder, okay, first of all, where's the money going in the Minneapolis school district? It doesn't have near the results that we do. Now, some of the schools in Minneapolis have great results. There's a couple in particular. But where's the money going? Although now in our state, the state I'm not even getting into any of my stories. I have a whole bunch that's going to be in the links. You might have to wait for them. Our state legislature has passed a law, and our governor has signed it, that our schools in the state of Minnesota must provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner free of charge to all students. Yes, I said all students. Maybe it's not dinner. I know for sure breakfast and lunch. All students. So, even in the wealthiest, school districts, there's school districts where there's a lot of millionaires' kids. They have to provide breakfast. They provide breakfast and lunch to all students on the state's dime. Now, how does this make sense to anybody? Now, it's because, and here's the thing, now that this has been passed, and they're trying, and let me tell you this is an idea that there's people in Congress who want to make this nationwide, Okay. Which it's like, first of all, why? Why would you do this? Why are we providing breakfast and lunch for millionaires' kids? Because, I get school lunch programs, and they say, oh, well, the stigma of being on school, free lunch is blah, 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 blah. Well, they can fix that in a second by doing what they do in our school districts, that if you're buying your lunch that day, everyone had to fill these little lunch cards that you use. It's basically your lunch credits card, right? And they all look the same. There's not a special stripe or anything on them. They all look the same. And so nobody knows who fills the lunch cards. And so you just go get your lunch using the lunch card. Everyone uses the same card. There's no stigma because nobody knows who gets subsidized lunch. But the idea that, we're going to feed all the children. Now, here's the problem with these kind of bills, because they're going to feed the children, right? The reason you just aren't going to feed the children. Are you going to let children starve? Well, no, we already have a subsidized lunch program for kids who could be going hungry, right? But now that it's passed, imagine how hard it would be to repeal that law. Because, now you're taking food out of the mouths of children. I swear to God, these Democrats they are insidious. They are insidious. It's just spending money where you don't need to. We're in a state, and also we're in a state that had a very large surplus, like $18 billion surplus. And rather than giving tax relief to people, not only are they going to spend all of it, but they're also raising our taxes in a state where we had a surplus. Gotta love these California light states like Minnesota. All right, let's get into some articles, because we got a lot here today, and a lot of stuff that I really need to get caught up on. So today, over the weekend, a lot of interesting news about about the Biden crime family. This article from PJ Media confirmed Intel top dogs knowingly lied when they said the Hunter Biden laptop was a Russian disinformation. Oh, I am shocked. They lied. So it wasn't bad enough that 51 of the nation's top intelligence officials declared on October 2020, at the height of the presidential campaign, that Hunter Biden's laptop, quote, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation, end quote. But now the flagrantly dishonesty of the whole of, sorry, I didn't mean to do that pause. But now the flagrant dishonesty of the whole affair has gotten exponentially worse. For any lingering doubt that these officials had access to adequate information when they published their assessment has been put to rest. It has now come to light that the FBI found the laptop to be authentic months before the intelligence officials told the world that it wasn't. The last doubt that the 51 officials were brazenly lying to the American people has been removed. It's important to remember exactly who it was who lied to us. The chief signatory was none other than James Clapper, who is listed on the letter as the former Director of National Intelligence, former Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, former Director of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and the former Director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. You can't get more of a U.S. intelligence insider than James Clapper. Clapper, at 82, has spent practically his entire life in the intelligence field. He has been working in intelligence. I hate even to say the word intelligence when it comes to these guys, but anyway, since he commanded a signal intelligence detachment in Thailand during the Vietnam War. To be sure, he has previously shown his willingness to sacrifice the truth to political expediency. Back in 2011, he notoriously labeled the Muslim Brotherhood, which had repeatedly started its goal of imposing Sharia law over the entire world, as largely secular. Yeah, right. Anyway, basically the bottom line of this is the people who are signed on this, him, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, all these people were following the lead of James Clapper because somebody asked them to make this letter. Somebody, I'm just going to say somebody, probably from the White House, somebody asked them to put this letter together, right? And so all these assholes signed on to it when it was already well known in the intelligence community that the laptop was real. Is that a shocker to anybody? Anybody? Bueller? Shocker? No, maybe not. So anyway, moving on. I don't know. This is from Media Research something. U.S. Attorney Weiss. They have no. There's been whistleblowers who claim the DOJ denied the request to charge Hunter Biden with felonies. Two whistleblowers say that President Biden's Justice Department denied requests by U.S. Attorney David Weiss to prosecute Biden's son Hunter on felony tax-related charges in testimony released Thursday. On Friday, the U.S. Attorney General denied the whistleblower's testimony. Then, instead of clearing things up, Weiss's office refused to comment on the two conflicting claims. Weiss requested to be appointed special counsel, which would have given him more prosecutorial leeway regarding Hunter Biden's tax issues, and was denied at least twice, resulting in Hunter Biden being able to plead down to probation, only misdemeanors. New York Post report on the whistleblower testimony explains. So this is some, this is some bullshit, right? They wanted to charge him with felony. I think that was on the tax evasion thing, wasn't it? And so he's going to plead down to basically a slap in the wrist. And you probably already know this because you've been into the news more than I am. But anyway, so here it is from the New York Post. Delaware U.S. Attorney David Weiss sought to bring federal charges against Hunter, 53, in the Central District of California and in Washington, D.C. last year, and was denied both times by Biden-appointed U.S. attorneys Martin Estrada. Weiss, who signed off this week on the Delaware plea deal, sought to be appointed special counsel in the case at least twice, including as recently as in spring 2022, but was turned down by the Biden Justice Department, both whistleblowers alleged. And then, let's see. But the U.S. Attorney General has flatly denied the accusations. Oh, isn't that special? He had denied it. Yeah. He said at the outset, Mr. Weiss, who was appointed by President Trump as the U.S. Attorney in Delaware and assigned this matter during the previous administration, would be permitted to continue his investigation and to make a decision to prosecute in any way in which he wanted to and in any district in which he wanted to. Mr. Weiss has sent a letter to the House Judiciary Committee confirming that he had that authority, Garland added. So Garland is saying, oh no, he could have done whatever he wanted. We would have went exactly with his recommendations. There's no coercion here. There's no collusion here. There's no arm twisting. There's nothing like that. Come on now. You know there's nothing like that. They would never, ever, ever, ever tell a lie. Oh boy. Notice they're silent when it comes to his illegal gun purchase. Yeah, and here's what they did. They what do they call it when it's not a deferred, what do they call it? Not deferred. Somebody knows the word. Hello, those ain't real, dude. It's not a deferred prosecution because he's pleading guilty to it. But it's one of those things where he's going to plead guilty, but they're going to just let him kind of slide on it for 7 years. As long as he keeps clean for 7 years, then they're going to drop it so it doesn't show up on his record. There's a name for that, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Diversionary. Yeah, it was a diversionary. Yes, a diverted sentence. So all he has to do is stay clean for 7 years, and it won't even be on his record. It's funny though; they don't seem to be saying anything about all the other crap that could be. Special K on Acid, how you doing? Nice to have you back. One of our longtime sponsors is back. Fantastic. Thank you, BBC Rentals, dropping a deuce in the tip jar. We will be cleaning that up a little bit later. Who says the wages of Simpingivis, I can't even say that. Simping. Oh, the wages of simping is. That's a typo with a V. The wages of simping is an early divorce, just as Prince Harry. During Pride Month, we at BBC Rentals would like to honor our best customer, Meghan Markle. BBC Rentals. Unless you're a racist. Thank you, BBC Rentals. I need to have I should have a special theme song for BBC. I should have maybe done this. The wages of simping is an early divorce, just as Prince Harry. During Pride Month, we at BBC Rentals would like to honor our best customer, Meghan Markle. BBC Rentals, unless you're a racist. There we go. See, there we go. We have music for the commercials there. And that was appropriate. It was very hard driving, if you know what I mean. Anyway, all right, let's move on. What else we got? No, we got one of those newfangled diversionary sentences where they just talk about what he did wrong and he magically gets better. Yes, exactly. That's it. Advocatus Diablo. Perfect description of what he got. All right, moving on. Now, this whole debacle has a few people in the House thinking about an impeachment inquiry, according to Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy forecasts Garland impeachment inquiry if whistleblower allegations are true. Well, okay. Kevin, I appreciate your feistiness in this matter, but you know this is going nowhere. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on Sunday signaled that an impeachment inquiry of Attorney General Merrick Garland would be imminent if whistleblower allegations that U.S. Attorney for the District of Delaware, David Weiss, wanted to appoint a special counsel in the Department of Justice Hunter Biden probe are true. McCarthy retweeted allegations made by the whistleblower, IRS Criminal Supervisory Agent Gary A. Shapley Jr., noting if his allegations are true, this will be a significant part of a larger impeachment inquiry into Merrick Garland's weaponization of the DOJ. So I'll let you read that and stuff, but you get it. You get the idea. They're gonna this is gonna go round and round, and nothing's gonna happen. So let's just stop kidding ourselves, Mr. McCarthy. I appreciate you trying, but shit ain't going nowhere. It might get through the House by a party line vote, but this is funny because Merrick Garland's kind of response to all of this. Now, I'm going to let you fill in the blank. Right? Merrick Garland is basically saying right now that, fill in the blank. Remember, we'll fill in the blank in the chat. Hello, Malefica. It took me 7 times to say it. Malefica, how are you doing? The other crimes will go under blanket immunity, sealed, of course. Of course they will. All right, so Merrick Garland's response to this whole thing about the whistleblowers and whether or not he'll be impeached. Here's the sentence, and I want you to fill in the blank. Okay, here we go. Fake news expert, what up? Questioning the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on blank. Let's play match game 72. Questioning the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on blank. Please fill in the blank as we play the music. Here, let's find something to play here. Here, perfect. Some rock music. We'll do this here. Okay, fill in the blank. Questioning the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on blank. Oh, we've got some good answers here. All right, very, very good. Right on the very first try, Advocatus Diabli. What did I say? I didn't even say that right. On the very first try, the correct answer is democracy. Let's see how the other players answered the question. Here we go. Let's see. The question of the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on Rick Ashbranger with democracy. Very good. And Advocatus Diabli obviously had it the first time, but then Advocatus Diabli changed his answer. It says the attack, question the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on convenience. No, nice try, Advocatus Diabli. Let's see. Who else has answered? Lord Stanhope. To question the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on colorectal health. Oh, I am sorry. I'm sorry, Lord Stanhope. Questioning the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on my favorite tentacle. No, that didn't work either. Sorry, sir. That does not end. And Special K on acid is an attack on fascisms. No. And there we go. Wait a minute. Black Hebrew Israelite questioning the integrity of the Justice Department is an attack on D's nuts. Judges, can I get a ruling on that? Judges? Oh, they will accept the answer. Congratulations, Black Hebrew Israelites. All right. Now, here it is. As usual, this is their favorite. It's anyone with a D under their name loves to talk about democracy as if they give a shit about democracy. Here it is. With the sweetheart deal that Hunter Biden just got from the federal prosecutors, Attorney General Merrick Garland has once again confirmed that he has taken the Justice Department, which is once the envy of the world, into its indefatigable commitment to equal justice for all, and turned it into a squad of legal hitmen for foes of the Biden regime and legal laundromat for the regime's members and cronies, most notably for the alleged president's crackhead influence peddling son. Garland himself, however, bristles if you believe your lying eyes in this matter. On Friday, he complained that charges that his Justice Department was doling out frame jobs for dissidents and skates for friends of the regime was a threat to, that's right, our democracy. Yay! Well done, Merrick Garland. Of course it is. Okay, I wish if it was Thursday, you know what I'd be saying right now. I'm going to say it anyway. Fuck that guy. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Oh, and then Amy Klobuchar also had a little laugh when someone mentioned it. Amy Klobuchar chuckles when asked about Hunter Biden going to an event attended by Merrick Garland. Oh, the irony. Yeah, free Matt Hoover. Right on. Senator Amy Klobuchar, one of my senators, I'm not proud of, chuckled on Sunday when asked if it was appropriate for President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, to attend a state dinner where Attorney General Merrick Garland was also present just days after Hunter Biden was charged with tax crimes. So they had a state dinner. They had a state dinner, and Hunter Biden was there. I mean, I wouldn't have Hunter Biden 100 miles from Washington, period. And he was invited to a state dinner. How about that? The segment came after news broke last week that Hunter Biden will plead guilty to failing to pay about $100,000 in taxes in 2017 and for failing to pay a similar amount for the following year. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. There's some estimates that he would probably owe up to $20 million in taxes on some things. But anyway, the 53-year-old reportedly entered a diversion program upon admitting the illegal purchase of a firearm in 2018. The gun charge should be revoked from his record upon completion. Well, isn't that special? I think he'll be able to buy another gun then, and maybe he won't be on crack this time. Anyway, so they have a video here. Yeah, here's the video of her being asked this question by, of course, Chuck Todd.
I brought up the state dinner. Do you think it was appropriate for Hunter Biden to be at the same event as the Attorney General Merrick Garland was in the same week he accepted a plea deal?
You know, I think as the president explains, that's his son. That's a separate thing. And I would like to say
what would you like to say,
about that. That decision was made by an independent prosecutor who is a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney who had 10 years of experience.
By the way, that's the talking point. Oh, it was a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney. Well, as we now know, the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney wasn't going to be able to do what he actually wanted to do, was to charge Hunter Biden with the same felonies that, let's say, what's that guy, Wesley Snipes? Yeah, he went to jail for that. And there was some rapper dude that went to jail. I don't know who it was, but, you know, there's a lot of people who just go to jail for that kind of shit. No, they don't get the sweetheart deal that the president's son gets. But, you know, of course, no one is above the law. So anyway, do we need to listen to her anymore? Because she I can't. Oh my God. I can't believe she's my senator, and she'll probably remain my senator for a very long time. But she's better than Tina Smith, our other senator, who just got reelected. FTG to both of them. I can't listen to her voice anymore. Let's not do this. So fuck it. Let's see. What else do I got here? Let's escape. I don't want to hear another word. Her little chuckle there, and yes, it was a Trump appointed attorney. That's the talking point. That they got the sweetheart deal from the Trump appointed U.S. attorney. Do you think for one second that was what he wanted to do? No, we've already know that. All right, let's move on. There's a lot more. If you want to hear more about the Hunter Biden whistleblower testimony, Miranda Devine has an article in the New York Post that you can read. It'll be in the links. What's the next one here? Oh, and this is Russian collusion. It was Hillary along. We already know that. We already know that the only FTG Farms, another sponsor from the days past. FTG Farms is in the house. Well, since we're doing music for the commercials, here's one. FTG Farms. FTG Farms would like to wish all the father figures, stepdads, male mentors, and big brothers who have taken the role of father a happy, strong Dad June. Except for Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Fuck those assholes. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. FTG Farms dropping a small bone in the tip jar. A longtime sponsor. Thank you, FTG Farms. Okay. This one, it was Russian collusion all along. It was Hillary. Yes, we know that the only person who actually colluded with Russian agents was Hillary Clinton. You can read that article on your own. I'm going to skip it because we're getting down to the half-hour point, and I'm already way behind. So, now apparently there was the DOJ requested a delay in this Donald Trump prosecution thing or Florida trial. And apparently it has nothing to do with the weakness or the strength of their case, because a lot of people are saying, oh, they're asked for delay because they don't have a strong case or they don't this and that. And I think it's important, and this article points out, ignore the people who are claiming that it reflects that the government is afraid to present its case or that it thinks the case is imploding. And most of all, please ignore the conspiracy theorists who construct elaborate arguments and theories around it and so many other things. Now, this is William Jacobson. He leads Legal Insurrection. He's a big-time attorney. When Judge Eileen Cannon scheduled the trial of Donald Trump and the Mar-a-Lago documents case for August 14, 2023, no one knew the slightest thing about court procedure. Who knew the slightest thing about court procedure expected that to hold. Among other things, Trump doesn't even have a full defense team. His prior team quit. His new lawyers will need to get security clearances to view the classified documents, and the procedures for handling and control of classified material would have to be worked out. An August trial was never going to happen. Now, Robert Barnes tweeted at the time, the scheduling of the Trump case is just a tentative date and highly unlikely to occur at that time. It's a common process in many federal courts to schedule a Speedy Trial Act early deadline and then let each deadline seek continuances as needed. Still unlikely the trial occurs in 2023, which is perfect for anyone else running for president against former President Trump. So anyway, on June 23rd, the government filed a delay the trial to December. The motion was unopposed by Trump, although Trump's teams reserved the right to contest the proposed dates. Quote, the government has received and reviewed the court's omnibus order setting trial date and establishing pretrial instructions and sentencing procedures, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, down at the bottom here, in the bold here, defense counsel confirmed they do not oppose the adjournment date of the current trial date, and then defense counsel anticipate filing an opposition to this motion addressing their objections to the government's proposed dates. So a lot of people were speculating, oh, they're moving it back because they don't have the goods or they don't have this or whatever. Now, the government the same day filed a motion for a conference pursuant to the Classified Information Procedures Act, figuring out how they're going to proceed with getting everyone else under the proper security clearances, and then the request for it continues was a matter of routine and fully expected shipwreck crew on Twitter, who is representing many J6 defenders, and they tweeted, yesterday's motion to move the document trial date back to December is a routine procedural move that both sides agreed to. The government just filed the paperwork. The August date was set just to satisfy the Speedy Trial Act requirements. So don't read into them postponing this trial too much. Although, again, timing of the indictment, knowing that this would probably move far into 2023, possibly into 2024, certainly probably was a factor. There you go. So, real quick. Oh, we got another new viewer here. I never knew. Welcome, Mr. Wesley Snipes. Thank you for dropping a tip in the chip jar, dropping a deuce. It says, what the F? Well, it said, what the F? No one is above the rim unless your name ends with Biden or Clinton. I'm assuming you meant the law, but thank you, Wesley Snipes. Appreciate your response to the show. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Oh, this is a editorial by Alan Dershowitz. Now, Alan Dershowitz, he's kind of hard to figure out. I really don't understand Alan Dershowitz, because I know he's a longtime Democrat, longtime liberal, but he seems to have this affinity for Donald Trump, and he pisses off all the left all the time. I don't know why he's still a Democrat, but he is. Anyway, he was making a point that the Trump prosecutors should not be able to use the word espionage. I agree. I can tell you why, because the president can't do espionage against their own country, well, as far as I know. Anyway, he says former President Donald Trump has been charged with a variety of crimes, including a violation of the Misnamed Espionage Act. The 1917 statute is misnamed because it covers a great many offenses that don't involve spying or giving secrets to the enemy. In fact, over the years, it has been used extensively against patriotic Americans who have opposed wars and dissented from other governmental actions. In Trump's case, he's being accused primarily of unlawful possession of allegedly classified material because he's been charged under the Espionage Act. Many people have been misled into believing the accusations against him have something to do with espionage, so spying, or even treason. The use of the term espionage is extremely prejudicial to Trump in the court of public opinion. It would be even more prejudicial in a court of law if the jury were to hear that word in connection with this case. Agreed. The Espionage Act is overly named, I guess you could say, and it is absolutely prejudicial because all these. It's funny because it's under the Espionage Act, right? They've been accused of spying. And this is the same thing when, Hillary Clinton should have been tried under the Espionage Act. But, no lawyer would ever really consider bringing those charges against her, which in reality, whose documents or classified information, would have been more likely to have gotten into the hands of foreigners, of foreign enemies, so to speak. Donald Trump's, which were in boxes and locked in a ballroom in Mar-a-Lago, or Hillary Clinton on an unsecure server in her basement that surely had been hacked multiple times. Who would be more inclined to be charged with espionage? Also, here's the other part. The person who brought those documents to Mar-a-Lago was still the president of the United States when they were brought to Mar-a-Lago. So how could that be espionage? Anyway, so the use of the term, accordingly, Trump's lawyer should immediately move for what is called a motion in limine, prohibiting the use of the word espionage by prosecutors either inside the courtroom or outside, but especially in front of the jury. So I think Alan Dershowitz is making a good point here, because that is when you hear the word espionage, which is part of a espionage act, but isn't necessarily charges related to espionage, that is extremely presidential, and people who already hate Trump are going to make it even worse. So, all right, next.